Coming off a tough game, not only in terms of just pure competition versus the Seattle Seahawks, but in terms of injury that saw us lose or even go into the game without many of our starters. But the backups came ready to play and put together a great performance, though it did end up with a 28-21 loss, as the Seattle Seahawks did win this divisional matchup. And that leaves us at week 10, where we do have to make a couple of roster decisions because we had some big injuries. If you guys did miss the last episode, it was a lot of injuries and some really big ones, including our starting rookie quarterback in Bo Harold dislocated his knee. He will miss the next 4 weeks. We also saw Okoronkwo, our leading pass rusher, also injured for several weeks. He'll miss the next 3. And then Kyren Williams, he hasn't been out there all too often, but when he's been given the chance, he's played really well. Unfortunately, his season is going to be done, as he will be heading to IR to make room for another running back. So, unfortunately, he's going to be 25. We'll see if he sticks around for the future. But we're going to be missing out at some potential progression for a good player. Like I said, he played well when out there. Bo Harold had a hit or miss season. I am going to miss him out there. We're going to have Teddy B be our main quarterback. But we do need to bring in another quarterback and another running back, though we will only be making one free agent move, and that is going to be at running back, as we're going to be bringing in Zonovan Knight. He's a younger running back, 23 years old, 73 overall, so he can potentially stick with the team in the future. We don't have a second running back higher than, I want to say, maybe a max 70, maybe a low 60s, or upper 60s. So Zonovan Knight, I feel like, kind of fits the squad. He's a little bit of a do-it-all, has some hands, 66, so I think he could fit in pretty well and provide a good backup role for, or potentially even starting role, if we end up ever not having Cam Akers like we had last go-around. As for the quarterback spot, we will be elevating former starter for us last year in Stetson Bennett. He's not going to be starting. That is Teddy B's job. But we do need the backup, so we will be bringing back Stetson Bennett. And whenever Bo Harold comes back, he'll most likely be going back to the practice squad. Well, that does leave us one player over the limit, and I feel like we have some safeties that we could kind of move around. I mean, we do have 3 free safeties. That's not needed, so Rashad Torrance will be headed to the practice squad. And with all of that, we're now to the 53. We have 3 running backs, 2 quarterbacks, and we're ready to head into this Minnesota Vikings game, trying to put together another good game. Defensively, we're going to have to come through. It's a tough offense here with the Vikings, and we're just going to have to try to do our thing against their defense. Now let's get week 10 underway with a boot that does not go to the back of the end zone. It's actually going to be returned. Naylor, with a little bit of some space, fights forward to the 34. Not a great kick to start us off with, as Kirk Cousins, still the quarterback here of the Minnesota Vikings in this universe, heads out with his offense. So far, they haven't had the atypical Kirk Cousins season. Very close to touchdown to interception ratio, and we'll love to add to that, though they go right down the seam as they have another superstar receiver. I don't believe they needed any more, as it's Amari Cooper. Interesting addition. Makes me think we're not going to see a whole lot of Addison, though it does look like they have him in the slot to the right-hand side. We're on the quick blitz in Kirk's face, forces a actually pretty good throw as they try to go back to Cooper, though we do knock it away with a Debo. And if I've learned anything as a Minnesota Vikings fan, it's that we need to get in the face of Kirk Cousins to force some bad throws. So that is the game plan today, as we're actually starting a good bit of the young defensive rushers as we force the ball away, good coverage downfield. We will also be shaking up our looks as well in the ways that we line up. Still a lot of nickel, but where guys are lining up, we'll kind of shake around a little bit as it's Bonito with the sack around the edge, dropping Kirk back at the 45, should force the punt. As our offense takes the field, we have ourselves a pair of former Vikings playing against their former team. Obviously, Teddy B was at one point the future of the Vikings at quarterback. Unfortunately, his major leg injury took that away. About just as well as Josie Jewell took away the run on play 1 with a 2nd and 12 to follow. The other former Viking, J-Ron Curse, we saw over on defense. As we go downfield, it's Nakua with another huge chunk play. He just keeps showing up. He's the first quarter receiver by far on this team. And yes, I'm taking into account Corey Davis, who's done fantastic right before the end of halves. Just randomly, the first couple drives, it's Nakua typically. As we try to toss this one out, Tanyan, it's a little bit too far out in front. But it's definitely nice getting back out here and not missing half of our starting 11. We are missing one in Claypool, who had a PCL sprain during practice this week, so he's not playing. Though with the play we've seen of Nakua, he's kind of lost his starting spot. As they do bring down the safety to the right-hand side, we shift the line that way. Try to wait for someone to break open. It's Quez Watkins with the catch, speeding away, hit the juke, but not gonna get by Murray. Good tackle at the 6, but a good throw gets us down to scoring position. Definitely liking the way the receiver group is starting to come together. Nakua getting involved is definitely helping us out, as it's a read option for Teddy B, trying to stiff arm Lewis Scene. Does not work, as now Robert Tanyan shaken up. Looked like a potential forearm injury there, as that will leave way for Charles, the rookie tight end, to find his way out onto the field. Had a couple big plays last week. Pass rush Daniil Hunter right around the edge. No one was open. All around bad play for our offense. Great for the Vikings defense. And that leaves us with limited time here, because it took me a while to find the play we were looking for. So we're going to end up calling the timeout, which will allow us a little bit of time to find the right play for a 3rd and goal back at the 16. I would love Akers to that front pylon, though. Not going to just stare him down. Going to see what opens up. Though it is Akers instead of the back pylon. He had the step, but it was overthrown. Field goal unit will head out instead. So it will be Brown, the one who scored for us first last week against the Seahawks, though it was a touchdown pass he threw to Robert Tanyan. This time, the simple field goal will do, as we grab a 3-0 lead. And with that lead, it will be the Vikings headed back out at the 25. They start with some play action. Kirk rolling. They will find number 5. Do they have themselves a new tight end here? That was a D. Stewart. Hawkinson still out there. Maybe that was actually a 2 tight end set. Probably just didn't pay close enough attention, with a 2nd and 5 after the gain of 5. As they go deep, going back to Amari Cooper, and we can't knock it out. It was pretty tight coverage there from Adebo, but just a better placement there from Kirko. Now that is something we're trying to keep our eye on in this game. We prepared for it in practice. We'll see how well we can do against it. And the first time didn't go all too well there. Obviously with them hitting that deep strike. As they go with another play action, it's Hawkinson overthrown. J-Ron Curse, the former Viking, in coverage there, though wasn't fantastic coverage. Just needed a better throw there from the quarterback. As it's 2nd and 10, they go with a handoff, cutting back towards the middle. It is Kareem Hunt picking up 5. Prior to the IRL trade of Cam Akers going to the Vikings, a lot of Vikings fan calling for Kareem Hunt, so very fitting he's with the squad here, as it's 3rd and 5. Trying to set up some plays downfield, and they have a wide open Jefferson with his first catch down to the inch line. Just playing way too soft of coverage there. Needed that to be tighter. See if we can get ourselves a goal line stand here, perhaps. As they go Hunt, play 1. Not going to get anywhere. Might actually lose a couple inches, as it'll be 2nd and goal from a lesser one. We'll just need to see ourselves do that for at least 2 more plays, though. They spread wide here on 2nd and goal. Are they going to do a quarterback draw here with Kirko? No, instead swinging it out. We were never going to get out there in time. Addison with the touchdown puts the Vikings in front. So as we head out for our next offensive possession, we got some work to do. About a minute left here in the first, down 4 points. Let's try to retake a lead here as we get the ball to the outside. A great pursuit angle there from Lewis Scene, Lewis Scene. No idea why, but I always flip his name around. As we only gain 2 on first down, will be 2nd and 8. Going back to some play action. We actually have our guy downfield, but comes up well short, but DeGuara almost made a fantastic play there. Definitely not in the arsenal of Teddy B at this point. That throw came out way too late, despite it actually being open. As we do scramble out, ball comes out well short. Gonna be an easy pick for Josie Jewell, and it will be a touchdown with a late block there on Teddy B. Needed that ball about 10-15 yards downfield, and instead came up short. Just right place, right time. So while we already had work to do, a little bit even more work to do, as it's now 14-3. As we try to set up the halfback screen, get that ball out just in time, try to utilize some blockers. Cam Akers spins off of one. Thank you for that tackle. Actually pushes us forward for the first down and does send us into the end of the first quarter. Transitioning to the second. Some decency there in the first half or first quarter, but some things to clean up. Can't really say it's anything new with this squad. It's kind of seeing this level of play throughout, as Tanyan still has not returned. We'll swing this one out wide, gonna find a few yards at least to Cam Akers, picks up 4. And that's gonna be the goal of this passing game right now, especially with Teddy B. He's a short yard specialist at this point of his career, so we need to get this ball out quick, take some yards when we can, and diving forward is not what we're looking for from Teddy B, but he gets the first down. Really starting to think that the quarterback slide is not in this game anymore, because I just can't quite seem to get a quarterback to do it, as it's 1st and 10. Right across the middle, we have Akers. A good throw. Puts on a juke, trying to speed away. It's a big chunk play down to about the 25. The mark is down at the 26. Now, it was a point of emphasis this season that we kind of got away from, was getting the running backs involved in the passing game. As Zonovan Knight checks in for his first run, actually had a little bit of some space there, but it's still going to be a loss of 1. But every now and then we need to have that second running back who could check in, give Cam Akers a little bit of a breather. We've seen him struggle with injuries when he hasn't had that. As we send it out wide, Nakua, it's picked off. Douglas with a heck of an interception, thought that was a touchdown. But no, just a great play by the DB. Just chalk that one up to another one in the lines of routes getting jumped. We see it every single week. Sliders haven't really addressed it, as bouncing off of a couple different tacklers and then a few more diving. I guess it's a give-up play, as Kareem Hunt, with no one even close besides Amari Cooper, will be a touchdown on one play. That wasn't a good performance. But we've still got ourselves a lot of game left. We came back last week after being down 21-0. It's 21-3 right now, so this team doesn't give up. As we go back to the halfback screen, Akers kind of overran his blockers, and we'll end up paying for it a little bit, just picking up 5. But again, any little bit that we can get definitely helps out, as it's now 2nd and 5, going with the halfback draw, trying to burst through. A good tackle there from Asamoah. So we'll send out the heavier set here to try to help lead the way. As it's 3rd and 2, we just need the 2. We'll hand it off, have some lead blocks, trying to find some lanes, and Akers will squeeze through. First down up to the 34. And it doesn't quite appear like we're going to see Tanyan back in this one. So another opportunity for Charles to show what he could do. The 2nd round pick. Though he's not going to see anything on this play, as it will be thrown out late, and luckily will hit the turf, as there's also a flag down. But it's definitely a good thing it did hit the turf, because it'll be holding, backing us up 1st and 20. As Knight checks back in, the defense teeing up there, as now Puka Nakua shaken up. Looks like something to do with an ankle injury, as he's going to gingerly head off the field. Injuries continue to plague this team, as we have a 2nd and 19. You're going to send Corey Davis in motion. Fake the jet sweep, fake the handoff. Anyone going to get downfield? Yes, we had a wide open Parkinson, but the ball nowhere close. Feel like that might be a slider that we adjust manually ourselves, just slightly increasing the quarterback accuracy, because it's bad here in Madden 24 as we try to find a first down. Waiting for something to open up. We'll throw this one out late. Weddington drops it. Came back for it, but Murphy Jr. knocks it away. We'll have to punt. So as the Vikings offense heads out, we do have a quick update on Nakua, and he's out the remainder of this game with a high ankle sprain. Really unfortunate, really like when he's out there, but he needs to be out there to progress, and he's not going to do that if he's injured. And Amari Cooper, what a great grab downfield. Looked like it was going to be an interception. We had Durant sitting back there, but the veteran makes the play. First and 10 down to the 21. Don't know where second really came from. I guess the 2 and the 21 as we send the blitz. Doesn't get anywhere close. Hawkinson shoves off the first tackler, picking up 3. We'll make it 2nd and 7. As they'll come out with a tighter look here. 1 receiver spread either side. 2 tight ends off to that left-hand side. It will be another pass from Kirk Cousins. Rolling to the right, and a good job there from Byron Young to knock that out of the hands of Cooper. We saw Young get a little bit shaken up last week, and it did actually open up some playing time for Mintz, who did pick up a sack for us. So a lot of these young guys really came ready to play last week, though. Team not looking like it much this week, as Justin Jefferson with his second grab is a touchdown, extending that Vikings lead. And as we head out offensively, about 2:20 on the clock, they're wanting to highlight Cam Akers, and I would love to highlight Cam Akers, though. He's not going to quite help us out when we need a touchdown here quick, nor is Teddy B with accuracy like that. We could really use the deep ball going to Corey Davis. He has the one-on-one to that far left side. Safety, though, doesn't shade. But instead, Parkinson, and can we get a decent pass here at all? These guys are open. Is Madden trying to force the return of Stetson Bennett? I guess we'll see as we get closer to the second half. Corey Davis has the step. The hit comes in and almost intercepted. Lewis Seen drops it, but once again, our offense goes nowhere. So while it looked like we would have the 2-minute offensive drive, it's actually the Vikings with 2:01 and now counting. As they go hunt down the middle, picking up a decent chunk. Will be a gain of 5 as we hit the 2-minute warning. Now an empty set here for Kirko. As they spread wide, 3 off to the right-hand side, we send the quick blitz, and it's got to hit home with Bonito, his second sack of the day. And hopefully that will detour any touchdown attempts here, the Vikings. If there was real life, it would very much seem so. As they go right down the middle, Graham should have had the pick. Instead, knocks it away. 4th and 12. Do force the punt. Now, once again, as we head out, highlighting Akers. Madden wants Akers. So let's try to set up a halfback screen here once again. We have a couple lead blockers. Just need to find the edge, which we kind of do. Just picking up 6 yards, though. What we really need is to find some space down the seam here. If Davis can pull over Lewis, we have Tutu against Josie Jewell. That could be really nice. That's where we're going to go. It's a good ball. Tutu off to the races as no one's going to catch him. Just frog splatting into the end zone. We do strike late on in the half once again. This time not Corey Davis, but Tutu Atwell. And that time Teddy B put it on the money for his guy, and that's what we could make the deep ball happen. We're just going to need to see a lot more consistency with some accuracy. Is now 106 for the Vikings as they're up 18 points here before half. They have all 3 timeouts. Defense is going to have to come through for us. As there's a pass across the middle, JJ holds onto it. Somehow spins off that second tackle. They do pick up 6, calling their first timeout, spreading wide following. As the defense trying to check into a man coverage here. We'll also force a check from the offense as they shake it up a little bit. Now go 2 out to the right, 1 off to the left. Will be a pass and a bad pass from Kirko. 3rd and 4. So as I said earlier, let's shake up the look here. Double A gap, though, not going to bring the blitz. As they have 2 spread either side. Trying to sit underneath some of these, but so far Amari Cooper has given us a lot of problems. They convert the 3rd down. Look and keep things going here. As we are going to bring the blitz this time. Bonito has gotten by a really good edge protector. And we see that once again, though Byron Jones knocks it away. 29 seconds now left in the half. Sticking with some man look here. I don't want anyone to be left uncovered. And can maybe just tighten it up a little bit there, Rice. Just a little bit. Vikings now use their 2nd timeout. They're about in field goal range, though we know the curse of the Vikings kickers. As we send the extra blitz, they pick it up, but provide a little bit of some press across the middle, and somehow Amari Cooper with some more yards after finding some more space that shouldn't have been there. But ultimately, they do work the ball down to about the 25 and send out Santos from about the 32, so make it a 42-yarder. We have a good pressure around the edge, but come up short on the block. Vikings will tack on 3. Joseph should have had that one. Now with just 8 seconds left, let's just see if we can find a splash play downfield. Davis and Atwell both going deep here on some quick stop and goes. Can the offensive line hold up long enough? Try to buy some time as we do get it out for Corey Davis. A flag is also down. And it'll end up being pass interference on Douglas, giving our offense another opportunity. With 1 second on the clock, it's too far of a field goal to attempt, but we could try to chuck this thing deep. Give us a chance to find some more points here before half. Teddy B against his former team. As we have 2-2, not a good enough ball from Bridgewater. We'll head into half there. Made things interesting, though, at the end. Still a 21-point game. Again, we came back in that second half last week against the Seahawks, down that same margin. So it's not over. But a lot of things need to be cleaned up as we move forward. Defense has been hit or miss as well. Offense obviously missing a lot of passes that have really hurt us up to this point. But as we take a look around the league, it is Seahawks up first, taking on another NFC North team in the Lions, who are currently leading 21-7. Lions only 1 loss on the season. As for the next game, it's going to be the Denver Broncos taking on the Chargers, and they are up 14-0. Broncos 2-6, currently up against the 4-8 Chargers, trying not to fall to 500. And then jumping all the way across the U.S., why not? Patriots taking on the Cardinals in a close game, but the Patriots scored their first win, 23-21. Luckily, though, as we tune back into this game, it's going to be us out on offense first. Again, down 21 points. We need to get on the board quickly and efficiently, though I do still want to obviously keep Cam Akers involved. And honestly, some of that might just have to be passes out of the backfield, and do also have to shout out Nakua is back out there fighting through that high ankle sprain. Hopefully, he doesn't aggravate it anymore. As once again, we do have Parkinson, though. We're going to go with a near interception because Madden 24 passing is weird. Really should have been able to find Nakua there, but it is what it is. 2nd and 10 as they come out with a heavy stack down look here. Try to go with some play action over the top. Try to beat everyone down in the box. That would be nice. But we're going to have to roll out here, and it's actually just going to open up for Teddy B, who's going to step up and dive forward, because who cares about sliding? But on a serious note, if you know how to actually slide here in Madden, do let me know, because I've tried a couple different things, and it's just not working. As we roll out, try to go across the middle. We have Tanyan, who's back out there. Did miss most of that first half with an injury. Nice to see a lot of these guys trying to fight through it as we need to push here. Sticking with a lot of short to medium throws. A lot of them going tight ends ways to go back to Tanyan with a first down and out of bounds. Looked like he ran out of gas there at the end. And you would say it's probably really the case if Davenport is catching up to you, the guy who nearly refuses to play any real-life games. As Nakua once again, space, not a well-thrown ball, and Murphy. I mean, come on, Madden, it's not even fun at this point. Even with the new slider set that lowered the interceptions from, I want to say, 50 to 35, it's consistent. As it's a good run blocking blow up there, they'll still gain 4. That'll leave them with 2nd and 6 with a tight look here. Will be another pass trying to sit underneath some of these receivers. Or not, they find Cooper first down. Definitely some tweaking could be used here for Madden AI. Like, if you're in a tight coverage there, why back up? Doesn't quite make sense. 1st and 10, Bonito diving gets his 3rd sack. Pretty much the only highlights we're getting here on defense is Bonito today. And the only way we're really getting these kind of pressures is when we're actually sending extra guys. Also forgot to say, Pierce. He's another former Viking playing against a former team of his. He's played on quite a few, as it's a Debo. Gets the interception. Just a bad throw there from Kirko, and very realistic, goes straight to the defender. And with that, we'll have a chance here to try to lessen the deficit as we go with some more play action. Try to swing this one out late. We do find Aguara turning up, picks up about 7. Try to hit back to the offensive line here rather quickly. Try to maybe go with a run, though flip it to the weak side. See if we can find any space. Down the middle, stood up by Josie Jewell. He's having himself a pretty good game. But on 3rd and 3, we need to find ourselves a first down here. Tanyan linking out to the left-hand side could be nice. as they do send a little bit of a blitz. We'll get this one out. Parkinson close, and they give it to us. First and goal. Let's get back to the line quickly, so there's no challenging that could happen. As we try to find some space to the outside, Akers sticks the foot in the ground, though. Weird hesitation. Cost us a touchdown there, but we still gained some yards, so I'm going to take it. Try to get right down the middle once again. Good blocking. Try to find the cutback lane. Stood up at the 1. Needing to cap off this drive with a touchdown. We're going to attack the right side here with DeGuara. Fullback dive, pushing, kept those legs moving and in. That time didn't need to switch out the center. He gets the job done. Right down the middle, had to fight through, and he did just that. Now we're just going to need this defense to once again get the stop. A turnover also be fantastic as Adebo got last time. It's going to be another tight look, play action. Rolling. They're going to get it out to Hawkinson, who avoids the diving defender and actually picks up a first down. The game plan early on was to put some pressure out there and get in Kirk Cousins' face, and we'll say Vikings have done a really good job of limiting that as they go with a run. Kareem Hunt bouncing. Why are guys randomly diving? That time it actually works as Smith gets the tackle, though. Another first down for the Vikings. Defensive line really hasn't seemed to be much a part of this game today, and that we've started a lot of the young guys. Actually, most of them have been out there, just not the rookie DT. We've kept out Pierce, as speaking of one of those rookies, Nick Bell picking up the sack right down the middle, loss of 10. Guess we just need to talk about their poor play, and hey, maybe they're going to pop up and do something. As it's 2nd and 20 with a shotgun look, Kirk Cousins. In the pocket, will swing it out wide, going to Hunt. Murray in pursuit will slow him down, cleaned up by Adebo and Byron Jones. Count that one as another loss, actually just a loss of 1, but take it either way with an empty set here on 3rd. Kirk sitting in the pocket, has time, throws it out late and out of bounds. Defense does get the stop, about 50 seconds left here in the 3rd. And as our offense takes the field now, about 40 seconds. We're down 2 possessions, so we can make this thing close here in the 4th as we try to get this one out to Quara. The pass once again, just absolutely poor in one-on-one spots over and over again. It's an instant pick near every time. Yeah, you want to throw to a wide open receiver? You're going to miss him by about 10 yards. I don't know what to do here in Madden. If you guys have found a fix, do definitely let me know. Slider set has not fixed it, as it's a 1st and 10 for the Vikings. Will be a pass to the outside going back to Hawkinson, who will pick up about a gain of 7, actually 8 on 1st down. You could really use another turnover, though the first one, arguably kind of fluky, but hey, I'll take fluky at this point as they send Addison in motion. Fake the jet sweep, Hunt down the middle, bounces off first contact, cleaned up by J-Ron Kurtz. That will send us into the 4th quarter, where we're down 14, Vikings in striking position. As it will be a pass on 3rd and short, going deep, it's Adebo! Gets the interception, we got some blockers out in front, let's see what we can do. Adebo tried to juke past Kirk, but steps out at the 26. It's a better return than what we would have had starting at the 20 if we would just took it from there. Adebo once again coming through for a 2nd INT. That time we do get the better of Amari Cooper, where most of the game it's been the opposite. 1st and 10 for Teddy B. As we're trying to roll out, we have Corey Davis gets his first catch of the game. Should not take this long to get him involved, but it's a big one as we're up to about midfield. And we're trying to match their heavy looks with our heavy looks. We seemingly have, I would feel like, the advantage when we get in these looks. As we're trying to roll out here, nothing much. Let's not force anything, throw it away. At least I feel like we do have that advantage, though, because most of the time when we're in the heavier sets, we get some better play than when we're coming out with the spread. As we go down the middle, though, not much there, just a gain of 1. But we're definitely in 4-down territory, as it's 3rd and 9. Hard count, no 1 jumps. Once again, trying to set up the halfback screen. Does open up well for us. A big block by McAllister, a nice juke. Akers, 1st down to the 35, as once again, going to try to get back to the line rather quickly here. See if we can maybe find someone down the seam. Although they do have a pretty good lineup for it, so let's make an audible. Instead, go with the sticks concept. Try to see if we can find anything. 2-2. I'm fine with that incompletion. But on 2nd and 10, we're going to spread wide here. Haven't done this today. Going to send Knight in motion. Trying to get to the outside. He has a lane. Getting by the last defender, and Zonovan Knight in his first game. Taking over for Kyron Williams. Gets the touchdown, bringing back the cameraman. Great blocking on the outside. And once again, we have ourselves a game here late. The Vikings take over at the 25, looking to stretch to the outside. Hunt stood up at the line, goes nowhere. And it's been successful today, so why not try it once again as we bring out the double A gap, obviously going with the blitz against the team who kind of invented it, Kyler Murray, not Kyler Murray, the other Murray, Jr. Almost got the sack. Instead, it's Hawkinson with a massive gain, flipping the field to the Oppo 27. You run that play often enough, at some point it's going to bite you, and it bit us there. With a 1st and 10. Will be another pass. Amari Cooper right down the seam and somehow gets in the end zone. How did he stay up long enough to get in? Vikings make it a 2-score game once again. And once again, we find ourselves trailing here 2 scores. We'll start with some more play action. See if we can find anyone open. To the opposite side, Watkins overthrown. Though if you ask Madden, apparently they say that was a perfectly accurate throw, as a great job there from Danielle Hunter straight through the blockers. And on 3rd and 11, we're going to face the double A gap blitz. We're going with the halfback screen. It just keeps working for us, as now we have all the blockers out in front, but we overrun it. I mean, come on, get out there. That should have been potential touchdown play. Instead, 4th and 8, backed way up here. Feel like you need to punt it, but you also kind of need to go for it. And Madden even says to go for it. And I guess if Madden says to go for it, we kind of wanted to go for it. That means we should go for it. As we go with the play action rollout, we have our tight end with no time to throw. Dean Lowry's shaken up, but the defense does their job. Gets us off the field as he heads off the field. So barring another crazy turnover, this one about out of hope once again late. We keep having opportunities, but we keep missing out on those opportunities. Good tackle by Byron Jones in open space, plus a flag is down. But it's a late hit on Cousins, so Michael Pierce got a little bit of revenge for his time playing with Kirko. 1st and goal instead, as they do still have Alexander Madison. He's just not the primary back, it seems. Will be another pass. Kirko across the middle does find his target, as now Jonah Jackson shaken up. Do hate seeing some late game injuries that could be avoided. As it's 2nd and goal, Vikings trying to add on to their score as they go out to Hawkinson. If only we had that throw in the last real life Vikings game. It is what it is. Vikings tack on another. And as we head out for what could be the last and final drive, at least offensively, of this game, we're going to continue trying to push forward, try to get some scores. As DeGuara, why did you stop your route? Keep going. We could have actually gained something, instead lost a 2. Gotta love the weirdness here in Madden, as it is 2nd and 12, sticking with the same tight look here. Dump this one off across the middle, gonna find Tanyan, who takes the big shoulder there. He'll pick up about 3. And on 3rd and 9, let's see if we get ourselves a 1st down here. Atwell coming across, Watkins to the outside. I mean, there's some decent route concepts here if we had time to throw it. Instead, a sack right down the middle. I'm pretty sure by the man who took over for Dean Lowry. We'll have to punt it away, but that just might do it for us here. And indeed, that will be the case. Defense did end up getting the stop. We got the ball back, ran it a couple times with Zonovan Knight just to see what he was all about. But overall, that was a game that we had our chances. Even despite all the turnovers, we made it a 1-score game there before clearly the Vikings then took control in that 4th quarter. So some things to possibly build on, but unfortunately, those turnovers, the injuries that cropped up here and there, was just too much for us to overcome, despite us nearly overcoming them at some point. But those interceptions, you probably could tell in the commentary, they're getting frustrating, right? Because when we have the wide open receiver, passes nowhere close, but you have a one-on-one, and it should be, pretty, I would say more often than not for the offensive side, but most likely it is, because, they know where the route is and everything. But in Madden, at least this year, It does not seem like that. There's a definite disconnect, I feel like, between the quarterback and the receivers in terms of them knowing where the ball is going because they know what the route is, but just doesn't quite seem to be like there's that connection. But the DBs, they definitely still have that instinct of knowing where the ball is going. And more often than not, they're getting these picks in one-on-one, and it's kind of annoying. I'm sure it's annoying to watch, too, a bunch of interceptions. And I think I did something weird with my light here because that is not the right color. There we go. That's better. Don't know how long that was like that, but yeah, so it's getting frustrating a little bit. I don't know if that is just Madden 24 or if it's due to the level of our receivers, really, because we don't have that highly rated of receivers. Our highest rated is Corey Davis, and I want to say he's only a 78. So it's not like we have the best. Potentially that might be why. Can't quite say for sure, but we do need to take a short little look at some prospects as we do have the focus scouting coming for the next episode. So we'll take a quick peek at the players. And as we're just talking about receivers, perhaps we should take a look and see what receivers we have available to us in this upcoming draft. And at the top, I can't really say there's anything necessarily sticking out. A lot of these guys look like they're kind of going to be bust. There's no big name guys. There's obviously some guys with some intrigue, like Jarvis Spikes here out of Oklahoma. Seems like he has some good hands, but he's not a polished route runner, doesn't have great release out the get-go. Luke Hayden kind of just seems to be solid, but nothing spectacular. He's also another 5'9", 175-pound guy, and we have plenty of those styles. I'm actually going to take off Brownlee from the list here with that D catch in traffic. Does not look too good for a lot of these guys. So we really don't have that number one. Ed Jarrett, intriguing, but no one really is coming in with fantastic release. There's some Bs, and that really seems to be the top of this class. So I can't really say for sure we're going to find ourselves a key receiver in the draft to come. Potentially, we might need to look for another tight end because Tanyan hasn't looked great. We obviously have Charles, but hasn't had a whole lot of playing time. Quarterback-wise, we have Bo Harold, and he might be a good guy to keep trying to develop. The fact that he's only a normal dev is a little bit concerning, and he's most likely not going to get any boost since he's injured right now and most likely won't be winning the Offensive Rookie of the Year. So there's some guys here in the draft that do seem intriguing. There is Kenny McLeod. Looks like he could be pretty good. Maybe even Lance Sherman. And really all of them in the top here outside of Dominic Sims. Just because he has that C there. Kind of throws everything off. So we'll see what this draft holds for us as we move forward, but it doesn't look like any of our focus guys are going to be at least at the offensive skill positions. We still need offensive linemen. We need some guys over on defense. So we'll see who we decide to be our focus players at the beginning of next episode. So make sure you stick around, hit that bell icon on the bottom right, or scroll down, hit the subscription button. They both do the same thing in subscribing to this channel. Also make sure you hit that bell icon so you're notified of when these videos go live. This series is posted every single Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday with a brand new, if you missed Saturday's video, a brand new state-only challenge that as I am recording this, the vote is still going. So we'll see who wins. If you haven't voted, I guess you still have a little bit of time maybe to go vote before I end up recording that. So go vote on the community tab. Definitely make sure you keep track of the community tab because I post when we have them. Players of the week for this series. We haven't had any for the last few games because the team hasn't really played all too well. But we also have the voting for various different types of things. So make sure you're checking all that out. And until next time, where we're going to have another tough matchup against San Francisco. See you then. Bye.